There's a lot of debate on what the most important skill of the 21st century is. And in my opinion, I have not heard anybody talk about it from what I believe is that number one skill. The world is changing very quickly every single day, especially with the rapid acceleration of AI. Every day looks a little bit different. However, at the core of everything involving AI and just how the world has evolved since the beginning of everything, there's one skill that I think when it's embraced, only good things can happen. And yet, it's one of the things that so many people struggle to embrace and don't even realize that it is a skill. So, to me, the most important skill of the 21st century is creativity. Because if you can learn the skill of creativity, that will unlock every other thing in your life. This is a belief that I have really started to think deeply about over the last couple of months and realized that the answer to most of my problems lies in creativity. And so, what does that really mean? Because I know that it's a broad term. It can mean a lot of different things, which is kind of exactly my point. And I'm very curious on your take on this and where you align with this. So definitely feel free to leave me your thoughts and feedback. This is an idea that I believe in, but I'm also really still developing kind of the core beliefs around it. But in general, when I look at everything around us, what I see is not just a notebook in front of me, right? I don't just see a notebook. What I see is that someone had an idea to create a booklet with pages in it that people can then write things down in. So they had to have that creative idea and then put it out into the world and create it. But at the core of this was somebody's idea. And when you look at everything else around you, your phone, camera, every social media app, every building around you, every single thing was because of someone having a creative idea and the courage to embrace that creative idea and try to make it a reality. When you look at all of the great art in the world, that's where typically people understand this and can see that. But you look at all of the, you know, classic books out there, some of the best films, best music, all of that. I mean, whether it's the best film of all time or the worst film of all time, those are all things that was someone's creative idea that they embraced and they went after and they created from it. However, the issue is that a lot of people are scared to embrace their creative ideas because there's a fear of people judging you, of it not working out, of you looking stupid, and that is enough to stop a lot of people from ever pursuing it. And that's a shame because I truly believe that some of the most important works and things to exist in the world don't because somebody was too scared to embrace that idea because of the fear and then they died with that idea. And I think if you look at everything good in the world, those all start as someone's ideas. Yes, if you look at all the bad things in the world, that also is someone's idea, but also I love to look at it through a positive lens. But everything good in the world is someone's creative idea. And I want to live in a world where way more people feel the freedom to embrace their creative ideas versus being scared to act on them and then never taking action. Because if everybody was able to express their creativity, we would get more life changing works of art. And not even just when I'm talking about like books or paintings or music. I'm talking about literally everything around us. Every product is someone's creative idea. Every single thing that anybody does, like any sort of um, event that someone puts on. That's someone's creative idea to put on that event to raise money for charity. Someone putting on a marathon, like to do all that. It's creative ideas. Like it's all comes down to creativity at the core of it. And what I think people struggle with is not even realizing how much they truly are creative. I hear it all the time. I'm not creative, not a creative person. That's just not me. And then I look at what they do in their daily lives, and they are doing things that I could never do. They're working. Like I'm not a car guy, and I see people that work on cars, and it amazes me. But to them, it's their day to day. They're used to it. But to me, I'm like that takes so much creativity know how all that works and how to change certain things to make it all work. Like, I have no idea. Whereas the same, like, for me, I work a lot with cameras and stuff, and so for other people, for me, I'm like, oh, it's nothing special or whatever, and then I show other people, and they're amazed by it because they're like, well, how did you know to turn these settings on and turn the light this way and get all that created? And I'm like, oh, you know what? There really is a lot of creativity in this. And so for me, as I've started to notice everything that I'm doing, at the core of it, there's a bit of creativity involved. That started to shift where I'm like, okay, if I'm aware of this and I can practice this more regularly with that awareness now, I can really start to sharpen this skill set. And really, the biggest part of practicing the skill of creativity is getting over the fear. If you can get over the fear of it, you can go and probably try anything and everything. But really, at the core, that fear stops us from doing a lot. I mean, even these videos for me, it was a fear for a long time, and now I have overcome that and embraced that. And now I've created more videos this week than I have in a long time, and I am feeling great. And whether it's 5 people watching or 50 people or eventually 50,000, if I can just help one person, then that makes, this as a creative outlet for me worth it, because I put this out into the world, it's helped one other person, and then the ripple effect of that starts to happen, where the only reason I'm creating videos is because I saw someone create videos and I said, oh, I want to do that. And now when I have the courage to do it, I'm doing it. My hope is someone sees this and says, you know what, I want to do that. And I saw that Chris did it. So, like, let me embrace that. And then the ripple effect of them putting it out, someone seeing their videos, like, it just keeps going. And I just have really changed the way that I look at everything when I've realized it all comes down to creativity. And if we can unlock that and we can encourage everybody around us and also practice what we preach by putting out creative works and acknowledging that everything we're doing has a form of creativity in it, I really think the world would start to be a better place. Because honestly, when I am creating, I am the most happiest. I'm typically more productive because I'm enjoying what it is that I'm working on. I also, I feel, more productive, more efficient. Like, all of the good things that you can feel when you're kind of going through your day to day. There's passion involved with creating stuff. There is love that can be expressed through creating stuff. Like, all of these good feelings are associated with creativity. And so if you can design your life to be focused on practicing the skill of creativity, and that leads to all of those good feelings, then literally it improves every aspect of your life. Like, whenever I have the freedom to feel more creative and practice that, it improves my health, it improves my marriage, it improves my work that I'm working on. Like, it just really, like, lights me up in all of those different areas in their own ways. And especially then, as I acknowledge that there is creativity that happens in dating, in the foods that you're going to make, that that's creativity. Like, as I explore this and say this all out loud, like, it just comes up even more for me right now of how much there is creativity in everything. And it is not just about making videos, making films, music, books, like all that stuff that people typically refer to like as art. All of that is great in a very big part of it, but in general, there's more than just that involves creativity. And I think we often overlook that. And so that's my commitment to my life, is to sharpen this skill and to focus on this skill and in the most positive way exploit this skill, because I think everybody that is successful is expressing themselves and their creative ideas and embracing them no matter what they are, whether it's to make films or to run a financial firm or open a bakery, like whatever it is, there is creativity in there. Some idea sparked in them that they said, I want to go after this and create this and make this a reality. And so I'm committed to sharpening this skill for the rest of my life. That is what I believe is the number one skill of the 21st century. And I'm very, very curious of your take on this and what you might believe is the number one skill. So let me know down below. I appreciate you all being here and watching this. I'm a little stopped up, so thank you for bearing with me. And my name is Chris Jordan. I look forward to seeing you in the next video.